The most dangerous advice in early stage startup is you need more leads. No, you don't. Every founder I talk to tells me the same thing. Matte, we need more leads, we need more pipeline, I need more top funnel. And I understand that because it feels like progress. It feels like you're moving towards something. It feels like you are doing something for your company, for your startup. The reality is that you don't need more leads. You need a system first. And it sounds logical sometimes to think that you need more leads because more leads will bring you more conversion will bring you more revenue, right? It's actually wrong. Let me tell you a story about a founder I was talking to a couple of months ago. They came to me and say, Matt, we need help building our first sales team. I say, okay, that's fine. And the first thing they ask me is, we need more leads. I say, okay, why do you need more leads? They say, because investors are asking for us. I say, okay, but if you need more leads, then how do you qualify them? I say, no, it's fine. I'll go in calls and I run demos and I'll close them. I say, okay, so what's your conversion right now? And they tell me, I don't know. So what's the total amount of leads you're getting and how many are moving to demo? And they don't know. And they say, okay, but if you want more leads, then how are you gonna close them? And say, yeah, I don't know, but we need more leads. So they ended up basically choosing an agency instead of me. So they say, okay, I'll go and find an agency to deliver me more leads. I say, okay, suit yourself. Apparently the agency delivered, so they got many leads, but the reality is that the leads didn't close. So basically what happens is that they had a huge amount of leads, but the leads didn't close. So the agency kept spamming people. They reach out to thousands of people via emails. They got very low conversion, but still will generate demos for them. But they didn't close. So thousands of leads, nothing. And the problem was that apparently the leads had no context, so they were just curious. So because the agency couldn't really explain the company, even in the message, they just twisted the message based on curiosity, the people were just curious. So the first thing people were coming and say, hey, thank you for taking the call, blah, blah, blah. And the company, the prospect will say, okay, you reach out to me, what do you want? And they were basically not even feeling the pain. They didn't have even context of what they were doing. All these leads basically disappeared and the company just got so many close lost instead of having more close won. So they came back to me, same story, same basically situation, but we were 6 months later and with many thousands of euros burned through that. So this is not a unique story. I see this all the time, and I understand why founders fall in this trap. First of all, because founders most of the times are not commercial. So they're not salesy, they're more technical, and they don't know these things. So they think that just leads are fine, are enough. And it feels productive for them. So they feel that we have demo, we're booking things, we have leads. So they feel like they're moving towards the promised land that their startup will take off. The second thing is that investors push for it. Investors, indeed, when they're dealing with technical founders who are going to market, so who are let's say trying to sell, they ask for more leads, they ask for pipeline, they ask for top of funnel pipeline, and these push the founders towards agencies. But if you conversion rate is 1%, having 500 leads or 5,000 leads doesn't really change much. I mean, it changes like in small numbers. You just have more people that you couldn't close. Third, I understand that build a process is hard. So if you don't have the expertise of building a sales process inside, the first thing that comes to your mind is, I need more leads. But let me tell you, what's the fix, okay? And the order that I'm gonna tell you, it's very much important. First of all, you need to understand that you need to know who you're selling to. So ICP, ideal customer profile, is crucial. And most of the time, the ICP is not the people that are buying your product right now, but is the people that potentially are taking out more value of your product. So your initial ICP may be wrong. So if you go to an agency and tell them, this is my ICP, potentially it's not the right one. You haven't tested it. So it's this is the first thing. So you need to understand your ICP. The second thing that you need to do is to build your qualification. So if you have more leads coming, you need to qualify them. And the easiest qualification usually is BANT. So budget, authority, need, and timeline. But there are many out there. There is Spiced, by winning by design, there is medic, there is medcook, there is so many qualifications, depends on your target. But it's important because if you don't qualify people, you will be demoing and sending proposal just like out of the blue. Just like you're sending a proposal to my mom who isn't qualified, might be interested, but she's not qualified, so she's not here SAP, so why wasting time with the person? And the third thing is that you need to build your sales cycle. So what happens from prospecting to discovery, demo, proposal, close one, and of course also the sales cycle for existing users. So how do you meet customers, how do you block sales? So all of that needs to be clear since the beginning. So you need to know entry criteria, exit criteria, you need to know everything regarding your sales cycle. And then the last one is to build your outbound process. But your outbound process might be different. Maybe it's not cold calling, maybe it's email, or maybe it's not social selling, or it's sales navigator, or it's just events, or it's small dinners or small breakfast with executives. You don't know, you cannot know at the beginning. So you need to build the system, you need to build the process, and then understand which of the ways of outbound suits your company and suits your ICP. So the takeaway for you, if you're a founder or if you're trying to build your first sales team, is that you need foundation first and leads then, later. If you can't close 10 leads, getting 1,000 leads won't help you. You just have more leads that you couldn't convert. So the founder I told you about, we worked together. It wasn't easy. It was difficult because we had to first of all work with lots of urgency because they had no money left in run rate because they burned lots of money with the agency. So we had to work with a sort of pressure, but we started first of all to build the process. We built the ICP in the right way. We started doing calls together. We were qualifying together, role playing, and then we had less leads, yes, but we converted more. So the actual people that we had coming through our outbound sales cycles and processes were actually converting in the right way. So what's the point here? That if you need more leads, you actually need to think twice and consider that maybe you need a process first and leads comes later. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate your time if you stick until the end. If you're an early stage founder stuck in this exact situation, so if you're doing everything yourself, you're wondering what to do first, do I need to get an agency or not, do I need to hire a head of sales or not, but you don't have the expertise, Inscaler is not a consulting, it's a transition. So Matteo and myself, I help early stage founders build and scale the first sales team as a co-pilot for the beginning, and consider me like co-founder without equity. And so if you need anything, I will leave a link down in the description so you can inquire me and we can have a chat. So thank you for listening again, and until next time, see you on the other side.